Italian Football Podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Questions from the Italian Football Podcast patrons, where you, our patrons, decide what the show is about by simply sending in your questions via DM on Patreon. I'm joined as always by Carlo Garganese. We've got so many questions to go through, and as always, if we don't have time to go through all of them, these will be carried on to next week, so don't worry, we will always answer the questions you sent in. And this week we've had almost 35 questions. So let's start with the very first question, which has been sent in from, let me see here. There we go. I have to go up and down my thingy here. Rob Ridzi, he says, what's your prediction for the Milan Derby on Sunday?
Okay, we're back to Serie A now, aren't we?
I'm exhausted.
I know, so much.
I am absolutely exhausted.
Like a lifetime.
Serie A, Italian football is like, it's tiring, man. It's like you're constantly there's no in between. It's always heaven or hell. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like it should be called Serie A. It should be called Serie A bipolar. The most bipolar football in the world.
Well, mostly the South Pole this season so far. It's been mostly hell. But yeah, look, okay. Well, let's do a preview of the game. The Milan Derby is this Sunday at San Siro at 8:45 p.m. Italian time, and it's a massive
Not
game.
20:45.
No, because I'm not going to say that anymore.
No, you have to. 20:45.
No, 20:45 CET. Yeah,
nice,
no,
nice.
It's a massive game. I'll go through some of the key details first. Let's do the team news first of all. Inter, Thuram is back, should be starting. Mkhitaryan's out. Dumfries, we have to see how he's doing in the next few days. Recording this on Wednesday because he had a problem in the international break. As for Milan, though, they've got some important players returning. Pulisic is back. He will start. Rabiot is back in full training. The question is, does he start or does he start as a sub? And then Tomori is back. He will start. Yes, Yashari is back as well. He'll be on the bench. The only person who's actually out is I think Jimenez at the moment. So as for the probable 11s, I'll go through Milan first because I think that's easier to predict. So it'll be Magnon in goal, 3-5-2. Tomori, Gabbia, Pavlovic at the back. Salamaker's right wing back, Fofana, Modric, and then Rabiot or Ricci, depending on Rabiot's fitness. I think, knowing Allegri, Rabiot will start and he'll probably come off after about an hour or so. And then Estupinan or Bartizaghi at left wing back, and then it'll be Pulisic and Leao up front. As for Inter, Nima, we're looking at. Well, you tell me. What do you think the starting lineup will be?
I think it's going to be Sommer in goal, Akanji, Acerbi, Bastoni. Acerbi or Bisek is the only ballottaggio. Well, there's two ballottaggio. Acerbi or Bisek, and then Bastoni, and then Dumfries or Carlos Augusto. And then Barella, Çalhanoğlu, probably Zielinski, Di Marco, Thuram, Lautaro. I expect Zielinski to start. I don't think he'll start with Sucic. I'll be very surprised if he does. I expect Dumfries, if he's injured. If Dumfries hasn't recovered, it'll be Carlos Augusto, which again goes back to 50 million down the toilet in the summer. Luis Enrique is fit, but he won't start. He'll start on the bench. And there's talk of him and Andy Diouf being sold or sent on loan in January.
Yeah, that's pretty damning.
Down the toilet.
That's pretty damning on Luis Enrique. I think there's nothing worse for a footballer than when your manager, when you're not playing, you're a backup, which he is. But then when the player in front of you in your position is injured, or all the other players are unavailable in your position, and then your manager still doesn't play you and he plays somebody out of position, or so clearly out of position as Augusto. I mean, he hasn't really got much of a right foot, has he, Augusto? So
what was the point? No, this is more a damning indictment on Marotta and Auxilio and them, because I'm sorry, what the F was the point of signing Luis Enrique and selling Nikola Zalewski. I would have rather kept Zalewski. Much rather kept Zalewski.
Well, they thought he was going to be good.
They
They thought he was going to be good, and he's. I mean, that happened. It happens, Nima. I mean,
a club like again, Korea, 30 million right down the toilet. Arnautovic, 10 million down the toilet. Gosens, 20-30 million down the toilet. Diouf, 25 million down the toilet. Luis Enrique, 20-30 million down the toilet. I'm sorry, but this is a club that has been in financial crisis. You can't throw away 100 million, piss 100 million euros away like this. Like, again, and this is something that pisses me off about social media, and that's why I don't engage as much anymore. And that is, we have to be honest about things. This is shit. What they have done here on big money signings has been shit. Now, that doesn't mean that everything Marotta has touched has turned into shit, as some sort of shit King Midas. No, he's brilliant. But we have to be honest. He has made fantastic things, and he's made some less than fantastic things. And 100 million euros in transfer fees down the toilet this way is unacceptable. I'm sorry, it is.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this one hasn't worked out, but I think we had this discussion already, so I don't want to repeat myself like last week or the week before. I think that when you actually weigh up the positives and negatives of this summer market, it's been an absolutely massive success, because any club has 3 or 4, if you include the POS positive, if you bring in 3 or 4 huge successes, especially when they're at the age that most of those are in a summer market, you've done an absolutely world-class market. If you brought in 3 or 4,
it's not
there's a couple that haven't worked out and they were expensive.
It's not a couple. It's 120 to 140 million in 3-4 years that have been.
I know, but I'm talking this summer. I'm talking this summer. Yeah, a couple haven't worked out. They've been quite expensive. But they're young enough. You'll be able to sell them. You might make a bit of a loss, but overall, it's been a massively successful transfer market. If you weigh up the positives and the negatives, especially how much money that if you want to look at it in financial terms, the value of the players that have been brought in and how much they were signed for and how much they will now be valued at, or they will be at the end of the season or in the coming seasons, then they will have financially. He's made a huge profit this summer. So I think that overall, it's been an amazing summer for Inter. Yes, these two haven't worked out, but
this summer, But I'm talking about big money signings. There's a problem at Inter with big money signings. It's like they scout their free transfers better, or their cheap signings better than the ones that they spend big on.
I think there's a few clubs like that. Juventus might say, hold my beer on those big expensive signings, I think. But I think it's quite a lot. I think most, actually, generally in Serie A...
Hold my Barolo, if we're going to be geographically correct in terms of the beverage one has.
But as for Milan, if we talk about Milan, I think that, I mean, look, the form going into this game is different. Inter are in incredible form, 11 wins in 12. Milan have been stuttering. They've got 4 draws in 6, but they are still unbeaten since the first game of the season. So it shows that whether they win or don't win this game, it's still not going to be easy for Inter to beat Milan in this game. The odds show that Inter are big favourites, 17-20. Milan are 16-5. Obviously, Inter have the home advantage. I mean, on paper, on form, you would back Inter, but I think that, listen, with derbies, the form goes out of the window. We've seen that so many times. So for that reason, I wouldn't make Inter as strong favourites as the bookies are and as the form books show. My prediction for this game, I think a draw. I'm going for a draw for this match.
Yeah, my vision is I think a draw as well. I think Allegri. I think if this is a goalless draw at halftime, I think that's how it ends. I think Allegri will try to hurt Inter and expose Inter's weaknesses, and he will have prepared for this game. This is the biggest test. The second biggest test, or at least on par with Conte, and we saw what happened in that game. So for Kivu, and it's Allegri and Conte are master coaches, and it will take something special for Chievo to match Allegri, because Allegri will have minutely studied the weaknesses of Inter's game, and he will expose them. And there is no other better opportunity with Inter being joint top of the league and everyone hyping Inter and Chievo for Allegri to come in there and, you know, turn up at Inter's party and, you know, jump on the snacks table, pull down his pants and drop a giant turd in the punch bowl for Inter, and then run away laughing with his evil smile that I love and that triggers you like a vegan in a slaughterhouse. But it's you know, he would love this. So I expect a draw as well.
It's an important early game for the Scudetto race, because if Inter win, they pull 5 points away, which, you know, it's not like they can't get that back, but the form that Inter are in and the stuttering nature of Milan at the moment, it would be not insignificant, you know. Whereas if Milan can win, then they go above Inter again. And to be honest with you, having Napoli lost Anguissa now for 4 or 5 months, it's almost I'm not going to say Napoli are out of the Scudetto race, but stupid. I'm sorry, Napoli they're
a mess.
They're a
and also
mess.
with Conte talking about resigning and all the nonsense.
Something's wrong there for him to take the whole week off. He's back now, but they don't have a midfield at all. There's clearly problems between Lobotka and Conte. Whatever the agent wants to deny it, that's obvious. There's been problems.
Yeah, I spoke to a Slovakian journalist who explained it to me, and he said basically that it wasn't the way that it was presented was not exactly what he said wasn't exactly in the way that it was presented in the Italian media.
By Lobotka, yes, but by the agent, no.
Yeah, the agent I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Lobotka. I spoke to Slovakia. The interview was with a Slovakian outlet. I asked the Slovakian.
No, Lobotka did an interview as well, but yeah, it's
No, I'm talking about the agent. It was the agent's words that were taken out of. And then he had to, but basically it wasn't like that. He did say it, but it wasn't like that. Intonation matters, and the manner in which he said it, and you can edit things to look different. Just so we're clear.
No, for sure. But just based on the injuries
as
alone,
journalists, we have to be honest about.
Based on the injuries alone, Napoli are in huge crisis to lose Anguissa. But again, we called that. We said that I said he's overplaying. It's only a matter of time until he gets injured, and there he is. He got injured. So, it's massive. I don't know how Napoli are going to cope. I think they might have to. I think Conte might actually have to throw the Champions League to have any hope in Serie A now, because I think
he'll do that in a heartbeat. For him, it's titles.
So basically, my point is this. My point is that Milan actually have a chance to potentially even become Inter's main rivals for the Scudetto.
Yeah.
Or at least,
who knows where Roma's going to be.
A marker down this weekend and say, look, Napoli are in crisis. They've got all these injuries for the most of the season. We can be the ones. We can be the anti more than Napoli. So I think that's the
and on the flip side, of that, Inter can really shut me up. Chievo can really shut me up, because if he wins this derby, he's not getting sacked by December. There's no chance he is. There's absolutely no chance he's getting sacked.
Actually, that's probably the last thing that's missing from Inter this season is the big games.
Big games,
is the big games. Winning they lost to Juventus, they lost to Napoli. Okay, they didn't deserve to lose either of them, but they lost them, and now they need to get the result now to kind of at least a draw anyway. But agreed. Agreed.
Right. That's just for everyone listening. This is the preview of the weekly Q&A pod that we do for patrons and YouTube members. To become a patron, go to patreon.com/TIFP, $3.99 rather a month, or get an annual one where you get 20% off, or YouTube memberships. Links to all these things can be found in the description.